Arteaga, born and raised from El Paso, Texas. I'm an artist, musician. I own a fashion company called Bomblades.
Hello, everyone. Really here. I'm your host, Marcelo Palermo. I'm here with two entrepreneurs that you will love to know. I mean, these people, we were having a conversation behind the scenes. It was so interesting that I can only imagine how interesting you will get. Right here, I hope that we have more than 10 minutes. Whatever we have, we're going to make it count, and I'm going to let my friends introduce themselves.
Hi, how's everybody doing? My name is Joshua Arteaga, born and raised from El Paso, Texas. I'm an artist, musician. I own a fashion company called Bomblades. I'm very interested in being able to help grow the culture of El Paso, and I'm doing so at the moment. And I'm very blessed to be with everybody here right now.
And this beautiful lady here, the reason why we say the lady for the last, because she's wonderful too, and we want to hear about her.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'm not sure what camera I'm supposed to be looking at, but I wanted to say thank you.
That little thing that goes
right there. So my name is Illiana Villalpando, also born and raised in El Paso, Texas. I am an entrepreneur and a single mother to 5 of me children. I also am an avid when it comes to the music within the city. I run a nonprofit organization here. I also have a clothing brand that I run for the past 3 years and just launched a brand new brand a couple of weeks ago. So I'm excited about that. A little bit about me.
Illiana Isabel, I love, your second name is my mother's first name. So I really love that name. I really want to call you Isabel instead of Illiana. Can I? Sure.
Yeah, do it. That sounds
Fantastic.
good.
Well, guys, tell us a little bit. We're going to start out with Isabel. Tell me, how did you decide to become an entrepreneur? First of all, you're a lioness. You see, you're a mother of 5, right?
Yes.
You're so young and you're vibrant, and that's fantastic. My family used to teach us, there's a mother who takes care of her kids and she's alone. She turns into she-wolf, a lioness.
I am, though. I will bite if it's necessary to.
As you should. Absolutely. We're not going to make you, we're not going to promote you anymore. But tell us, how did you start? How did this actually spark came out and about you and got to where you are?
Oh, actually, it's a funny story, but when I was a little girl, my mom was a single mom as well. Mm-hmm. And at that time frame, I was 7 years old, and it was this little toy called the Tamagotchi pet.
You were raised around the Tamagotchi.
Yes, yes.
No.
He doesn't know.
You don't? Well, he's too young.
Yeah.
He looks in, but I'm going to tell you something. I had to.
Oh, my gosh.
The first one died so fast. It's almost embarrassing to talk about it, but yeah, I remember the Tamagotchi.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I was a little girl in 2nd grade, and I really wanted a Tamagotchi pet, but these were like the new technology that were out there. So I was like, man, I want one. But my mom, she was a single mom. She couldn't afford to buy us one, and they're kind of pricey. So
when they started, when they came out, they were,
they
now
were
people will find it
at the dollar store.
Vintage stores, right? Back in the day, Tamagotchis were really expensive. Sorry, my dear.
Okay. So my mom, she figured out a way to get them. I'll get them for you, but sorry, I'll go half. Typical parents, what they will see from their kids. But at that time frame, I was just, no, I want one, and I wanted one so bad. I'm like, I'm going to figure out how to get money for this. So I found this little tin of a cookie tin that my grandma had where she ate her candy. She was diabetic. At the time, she would hide and eat candies without anyone finding out. So I found this tin of candy. And so I went to school and I sold them for some money. Ended up making like $13. And that weekend, we would go to Juarez, bought over to the border, and we'd go to Juarez every weekend and bought the bag of lollipops. $3 bag of lollipops turned into $30. $30 turned into $300. $300 turned into $1,000. One day, my mom, we're at Walmart, and she sees me just putting all this stuff in the cart.
How
And
old?
she's
What
like,
are
how are you going to pay for that? Like, what is wrong with you?
7 years old.
7 years old. And so
That's an entrepreneur right there.
Thanks.
Yeah,
she's
right.
wondering, like, everything back. And I'm like, but I have money. And she's like, what do you mean you have money? And I pull out my backpack and all this money's in there. And she's like, whoa, did you steal this from? And I'm like, no, I sold candy and I made it. She counts it. And she's like, what the heck? And it just started from there. From then on, I just started progressing into bigger and bigger and bigger projects throughout my life. And now I'm at a Colombian shapewear brand. I just launched our DIORA brand, which is a more of a high-end couture clothing line.
High-end couture.
High-end couture.
Let me rewind a little bit.
Yes.
Let's go back to the point where your mother said, where did you steal this from?
Okay.
How did you feel with that? Because you know what? That's a lot what parents do. When they see, it happens to me once. You know what I did? I was a kid.
Return the money.
Exactly. I did this once. I actually got, I was a kid and I wanted to buy myself a shirt and a racket. My father said, well, you have to work for that. And one day, you go to use already. So I grabbed a couple of older people. I was around 13. These people were 20, something like that. They were kind of up, people that really had money. They were talking about cities and saying, you like 10? Oh, really? Yeah. Well, if you pay me like $50 each, I will teach you, I will give you 3 lessons. You're going to be able to do all everything. And we'll take it up from there. Yeah, sure. So I did. I got was $150. First thing I did, I forgot about the racket and the shirt. I went to invite a couple of friends to get some ice cream. My father told me like, we're stealing? Tell me the truth. I'm like, no, I'm telling you. So that's why
How do these kids get so much money?
So that's why I'm asking you, how did you feel with that?
Well, my mom was like very precautious. She was wondering, well, first of all, did I steal it? And I had to tell her no. And then when I told her what I did, she was just like, you made that much money than that? And I'm like, yeah. And these were lollipops, they're a quarter. And she was like, okay, what if I buy you more? You want to do that? Well, and I was so excited because now she saw me as like an investment. And I didn't understand that, But the crazy part is that I knew how much money would come if I sold it at a certain price. So at a very young age, it was just like the business woman, and it's like this is price for lollipop and how much I need to make profit and how much I need in order for me to continue. And it just eventually ventured off into a lot more ideas throughout my age. But I will say this, my life as it progresses has little different
different cells that led you to now launch a high couture line that's going all the way. And from here, well, she was talking about wires. And I know that some people actually watches this show and see this show in their different parts of the world. We're here in the border metroplex. This side of the border is the United States of America, so Paso, Texas. The southern side of the border is Ciudad Juarez, in the state of Chihuahua, Mexico. These two beautiful people here, they're from this area. I am an insert. Like I came here 20 years ago, and I consider myself a border Latin. Let's put it that way. I love so much hearing and listening about and learning about the stories of these wonderful young entrepreneurs, and I go it all the way. So, the turn now, Mike.
Yeah, man.
So how you started. I mean, first of all, the clothing and everything is amazing. I love the style.
Appreciate that.
Hands down. I mean, this guy reminds me of some of my family members that I fashion and leaving Naples, Italy, or something like that. So I feel like he's a little cousin of mine because I'm older than him. That's not safe. You're 23, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Tell us how you got to where you at.
Growing up, I would say that, coming from a city that was very, very in the process of being developed, I didn't see a lot of opportunities. Neither did my mother. I come from a single mother household mainly. My father's been in and out of my life. And the only reason I bring that up is because, everyone has a different kind of background. Some people come from foster care. Some people come from having both parents. And, whatever the situation is, it's what it is. But one thing I learned a lot from my mother growing up is that she was a very, very go-getter kind of woman. My mom is just like Illiana herself, very lioness, very go-getting. I even look like my mom, which is interesting. So I inherited her looks and I inherited her spirit. Nah, My mom is beautiful. My mom's a very beautiful woman in every respect, character wise, as far as her way that she carries herself. She's always set a really good example, and that's taught me a lot as a young man. I mean, my dad's been in and out of my life, but the only reason I bring that up is because growing up, we never had a lot. We just had enough. We always had food on the table. I can never say we went starving. We got by, you know what I'm saying? I remember I was renting houses with cracked windows, was living in 700-foot apartment, little places with me and my two other brothers as well, not to mention. And a lot of these things happening growing up, I never really saw or had direction from a male figure, but my mom has always guided me, and she's always put me into the faith. I have a good faith with God, Jesus Christ. That's someone I always want to be able to talk about, because that saved my life. That's changed the person I am. And with that being said, I think God's given me a vision in life to be able to begin to give more, because it's always better to give than to receive in life. And that's something I learned at a very young age. I don't know what it is, but I'm someone who loves to give more than to get. You know what I'm saying? I love to bless people, but blessing people can only take you so far before your pockets get empty. Yeah. So with myself being said, that's why I loved entrepreneurship, because the more I got to grow, the more I didn't just get to give people monetary things, things that you could give with a piece of paper. I could give people things that are memories, things that people can carry for the rest of their life. I've made people cry, people smile, for the good or for the worse. And it's taught me to learn to become someone who wants to push to become an impact in my community.
Excuse me, Josh. You're born here in El Paso, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Born and raised in El Paso.
El Paso and the heart of what's kind of.
Yes. And, entrepreneurship really didn't hit me till I was about the age of 20, when because, just a little quick background, I went to school and stuff. When I was younger, my first plans were actually to go to ministry school out there in, I don't know if you've ever heard about Australia.
Yes, of course.
No, Australia.
I'm a social anthropologist. I have to do with Australia.
Oh, wow. Well, Hillsong.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to attend Hillsong. When I was a junior in high school, I got into a program, trade school, so I started learning, architect and design. So there was this program called AutoCAD, and you could do multiple different types of industries within it: plumbing, fire sprinkler design,
pretty much.
And I got an internship when I was 18. I went to the second year there, and I got an internship at Fire Sentry Systems, just right behind Sunland Park Mall. And that being said, I started getting into it, and I was saving the money to go to Australia because I love I've always loved. That's because when I was 14, I had a very traumatic experience with me going through things like depersonalization 3D. It's just things in my mind that I had a lot of I wouldn't say issues with, but at a young age, a lot of stuff was going through my head. A lot of things happened, anxiety, but it wasn't anxiety. I feel like it was a lot of attack in my life, because I had a great purpose to be able to achieve, to give to the world. So I just know that I overcame that. And ever since that experience, I felt God had changed my life. And ever since He changed my life, I stopped becoming a bitter person. I stopped becoming envious. I stopped looking at the world as the problem, but looked at myself and started looking up above to see where the real solution was. And that's why I had real peace in my life. And I realized that the best way to give is to really create an empire, but first work for God's kingdom. Because in the Bible, it says that first seek the righteousness and first work for the kingdom of God, and everything will be given to you. And that's a principle I live till this day, because the more I work for myself, the more I find myself getting greedy, the more I find myself hurting and willing to be stepping on people for my own personal pursuit. And I didn't like that. In my heart, I have always had a tender heart. In this world, everyone has a cold heart. They're willing, the Machiavelli, whatever that guy says, whatever need or whatever cost it takes.
Well, Machiavelli, sorry to interrupt, but Machiavelli actually has been used by politicians as they are. Not necessarily if they come from the democratic world, autocratic world, dictatorial world, but they all use, sometimes, or many times unwillingly, Machiavellian principles in order to move forward in the world of politics. And actually that, a cold heart doesn't mean that person is actually more daredevil or stronger or nothing like that. On the contrary, it usually depicts a weaker person. A warm heart what depicts or what shows a stronger person.
Yes.
A stronger woman, a stronger man will show warmth and the coziness and the embracing part of their hearts. You know? They show that strength by doing for others exactly what they will like others to do for them.
Exactly.
Not demanding that others do for them. That's showing what it is like to do the right thing.
That's always been a golden rule that I have. I mean, that's the second commandment. The first is to love God with all your heart, mind, and strength and soul. Second is to love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes.
So with that being said, if I'm going to love other people, that means I have to be able to be a giving person. To be a giving person, that means I have to be able to provide not just for me, but for others. And that takes a self-responsibility that most people aren't willing to take. So when I was younger, I was really into music and I wanted to be able to just grow myself and my image and stuff. But I realized there's something deeper to this. There's an impact that we have with every single person we talk to and get to be around. We influence. And whether it's Holy Spirit driven, whether it's through just the love you have in your heart, you can make or break a certain relationship. And a lot of people, unfortunately, end up not really providing the best type of effort they could have because they're out of just self-wanting and self-seeking, self-want.
Yeah.
And I've been that person, though. I can't say I haven't not been that person, but just to tie it all in.
Well, we evolve.
I think everyone in the world has gone through that.
Exactly. You have to evolve.
But it's that survivor part of our life.
Yes.
And we will all go through thousands of situations in our life. But it's how we navigate and how we decide to make out what our situation is.
Exactly.
One thing that I can say to anyone that wants to know about my life journey is that my life has not been easy ever. It has never been easy for me.
That's the number one thing that people have to know.
A lot of people
things will not come out and about easy.
A lot of people make assumptions that because you're beautiful or you're tall or you're this
or you achieve certain things.
Yeah, that you achieve certain things. But at the end of the day, we all work hard for what we want, and we all have to put in effort to get the results that we're looking for. And the biggest part that a lot of people don't want to do is we have to be uncomfortable with situations that
you do have to get yourself into that kind of situation where you are uncomfortable.
I'm nervous as heck right now, but I'm just like, but at Bunny Price, I'm always in front of people, and it's just like,
this is going fantastic. They're gonna love it. Yeah, millions watching. Yeah, you there in Pennsylvania, in New York, in Buenos Aires, in Mexico City, in China, Germany, England, whenever you're at Middle East. We love you guys. Thank you for
watching. Love you all. Thank you.
Isabel, our caller is my mom will be watching too. Oh, my namesake. So we gotta go now to a commercial, right? We're gonna have to stop here for this is the first part of the conversation. That is part two, because I want these two beautiful people to tell me where they are right now at. A very interesting thing is that Joshua told me that at the age of 14, he had to go through certain trials and tribulations, right? But also you told me before that was here when you started playing music. Yeah. So creativity came out of that. And my dear Isabel, I'm going to call her Isabel. Isabel, you were telling me also, life is not easy. You have to go through that in the stages of life so you can get to the point where you are to enjoy the things that you struggle so long so much to get to.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's a good way to wrap up this first part, this first block. We're going to go to some commercials. We got some. Part two is coming really soon. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Just go grab some more popcorns. So if you're a soda guy, just be back.